Think about all of the E3 content you've ever seen. I bet there's one thing about it all that comes to mind first. Cringe.
Hey, wanna come over and play my Wii?
Video games, they've been,
Peggle 2!
But that probably isn't the only thing that comes to mind. Yes, there's also the hype moments.
I am hungry.
And then there's the memes. Actually, a lot of what I showed you counts as memes. Any kind of cultural phenomenon that spreads and changes through imitation, really. The Electronic Entertainment Expo needs no introduction for the gaming community. It was the place for game devs and publishers to showcase new titles and make huge announcements. Of course it had an important role in shaping gaming culture. The event has a lot of visibility, and you do what you can to make your product stand out. This incentivizes the companies putting on a show to really make an impression. You put a bunch of nerds and business execs on a stage and tell them to make an over-the-top, hype, and entertaining presentation. Oh, and it's live, with some exceptions. So it's no wonder that their ideas for how to stand out can go really well or really bad. But in recent years, we've had this happen.
My back! I threw out my back!
Guess who just quit?
Nintendo pulled out of live presentations in 2013, followed by pulling out altogether this year. Microsoft did the same, and Sony hasn't been there since 2019. E3 has been cancelled altogether this year, so in honor of all the antics these companies have dropped over the decades, let's look back at some of the most iconic and memorable E3 memes, as well as some of my favorites.
It's okay, Rocky. You go when you feel like it.
Let's start with Nintendo. So E3 has helped get the names of high-ranking people at video game companies out to the audience, like these boys. But Nintendo's probably the best at getting names out there in general. Naturally, E3's been a large part of this plan. The one who first comes to mind? Reggie Fils-Aime. Reggie is a fan favorite. He's garnered quite the reputation and really knows how to connect with his fans. Shortly after joining Nintendo, he made his presence to the world loud and clear on that stage during the E3 2004 presentation.
My name is Reggie. I'm about kicking ass. I'm about taking names. And we're about making games.
Every time Reggie made an appearance at E3, his legacy grew, but it's that 2007 moment that solidified his place in the community. Shigeru Miyamoto is on stage, Bill Trinen translating right next to him, the Wii balance board is unveiled, and here comes Reggie. He stands behind the balance board and says those iconic lines.
My body is ready.
His fate was sealed. But like a lot of memes, this line didn't exactly become famous overnight, or even over a year. It was actually around June 2010 when it started to surge. The timing lined up perfectly as the phrase became the go-to thing to express excitement for Nintendo's 2010 E3 press conference. Reggie full-on embraced the meme and would talk about it regularly if it came up. Thanks to that, we actually know the origins of the line. While it might not seem like it at times, E3 presentations are rehearsed.
Now you have to pay attention because the only way to defeat it is to cut it in the same direction that its mouth is open.
Reggie, Miyamoto, and Bill Trinen rehearsed this moment a lot, but to keep things from feeling boring, Reggie would change up the line he said when he first stepped onto the balance board. After many attempts, "My body is ready" was the first line that got Miyamoto to laugh. Reggie had pleased the gods. But what Reggie was gonna say was never set in stone. He had the freedom to pick anything that day live on stage. Good choice, Reggie. He'd later make callbacks to this meme in future E3 presentations.
Yes, my body was ready. And what was just one small step for me was one giant step for expanding the universe of video games.
Nintendo 63. Nintendo 64. My puppet body is ready.
Reggie would regularly do silly and wacky things in Nintendo Directs from then on. Here are some highlights from E3 related material.
I
I like French food.
But before these-
I'm hungry now.
Use cameo regime.
I feel just like a purple Pikmin.
I am a new peripheral here, made by Mr. Miyamoto.
Forget about it. I'm just going home.
Come on, Reggie, give us Mother 3!
How about this instead?
Wait, Satoru Iwata. Yes. Another legend who will forever be in our hearts. I feel like the internet moved on from that way too fast. This battle went down just over a minute into Nintendo's E3 2014 digital event. It was part of a Smash Bros trailer introducing Mii Fighters, which kind of ended up pioneering a legacy of over-the-top Smash character reveals and memes in itself. The trailer references moves of different Smash Bros characters. This is reminiscent of... And we even got a reference to Iwata's little direct hand gesture. One of Iwata's most iconic memes also comes from E3. I don't get it, but it speaks to me. During the 2012 press conference, he just silently stared at bananas for a couple seconds. I guess this one just resonated really well with people, because we saw instances of this being memed the same day. No one really knew why he was staring so intently at the bananas, but there was a popular theory around that time that it was teasing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze being in development. I'll end this segment with a meme you know, but you've probably been unaware that it comes from E3. Gaijin 4 Koma, or Gaijin 4 Koma in Japanese, comes from two images taken from two different Nintendo E3 conferences. The one on top is a picture of 4 IGN reporters reacting to Pac-Man Vs. for GameCube in 2003. The one on the bottom has the same 4 guys, but they're reacting to the new Zelda game announcement in 2004. The unique naming convention for this meme comes from the manga style of the name Yonkoma, where you use 4 panels of equal size in the same manner of this meme. There's actually more thought behind this meme format than you'd think. These 4-panel comics have to follow a specific structure called Kisho Tenketsu. And yeah, the meme comes from a Japanese text board called 2-channel. This one has evolved over time and managed to survive all these years. It's pretty common to see derivatives of this meme now too.
Prepare to be written! I'm doing it! I'm doing it! Yeah! Yeah! Pinch some of these! Pinch some of these! Almost there! And... done. Now let's see how it looks so far.
It makes a lot of sense that this happened, but Sony's most iconic E3 memes center around one presentation, the 2006 conference. Generally regarded as their worst E3 presentation, Sony 2006 as a whole became a meme. I don't think the presentation was total garbage, but it was bad. The games they showed generally didn't look good. There was a lot of fake gameplay footage in the form of pre-rendered cutscenes, questionable presentation choices in their demos, the meme lines themselves, and of course the PS3 price reveal. Around the time of this conference, you have to remember that Xbox 360 launched the year prior, and Microsoft started off quite strong with the console. This 2006 conference would lead into the PS3 launch later that year, so it was crucial that Sony brought some heat. They didn't. Let's break it down. It started off pretty standard, briefly touch on the PS2, go into some PSP stuff, start talking about PS3 key features, show off the consoles. But the first big blunder hits after that. They showed off Gran Turismo HD concept, its assets from GT4 running on PS3 at 1080p. And 1080p in 2006 was a big deal, but Sony didn't present that well. They kept on repeating the fact that this was in 1080p, but here's the thing, we couldn't really tell that was the case. What we were seeing was compressed, the broadcast wasn't even in 1080p. The segment went on for 10 minutes. You spent 10 minutes on a tech demo of a PS2 game. When we finally moved on, we got a neat card game, but following the GT demo with what seemed like a gimmick game is not great for one's attention. Some more info on PS3 with a focus on networking features and a demo of the PS1 emulation on PSP. Okay, so Kaz Hirai pulls up a PSP, navigates into a game and tells his audience to guess what it is. He drops some nostalgia.
I don't know if you remember this particular...
and delivers the meme.
It's Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer! Remember that one?
So this was actually a pretty good demo. I don't think the line was all that cringe either. Hirai is clearly enthusiastic about this game, and it's nice to see when high-ranking business execs express their love for their favorite games. Why did he deliver the line like that? I think he was mimicking the voice guy from the original Ridge Racer.
Just what I wanted to see.
It's possible this line would not have become as famous if it happened in any other Sony conference. I think just after the rest of the horrible presentation, the community was looking to roast anything they could, and now thousands of people around the world cannot say Ridge Racer without thinking
Ridge Racer!
Moving on, they showed the original PS3 store interface and SingStar. Then we got the demo of Genji, Days of the Blade. So the build up to this meme starts with the lines,
Genji 2 is an action game which is based on Japanese history. The stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan.
Okay, cool. Go on.
Stages where there will be massive sea battle sequences.
Sea battle sequences. Some foreshadowing.
Real-time weapon change, real-time character change.
Okay, I see. These gameplay features have been around for a bit, so it isn't anything new, but it's nice to see the game's combat has some depth. Wait, we're fighting crabs now?
So here's this giant enemy crab, and you attack its weak point for massive damage.
You can't say this game is based on the actual history of Japan and then have us fight a giant enemy crab. Is this a famous battle which actually took place in ancient Japan?
The Beast.
The darkest part of my mind is reserved for the Beast.
If we could tell you a thing or two about the Beast.
He told you some stories about his great battle with the Beast.
Yeah, oh, I fought the Beast on a cliff. Oh, I fought the Beast in a swamp. Oh, and then one time I fought the Beast in the toilets of a nightclub.
Difficult battle.
I hope you never see the Beast. The Beast.
Giant enemy crab is the Sony E3 meme I remember best. They decided to embrace it themselves, and we got a callback in 2013.
Now, although historically accurate, this game does not contain giant enemy crabs.
Kind of boring from this point on. They showed off this Formula 1 game with a gimmick of the wing mirror being displayed on your PSP. Then a series of games where we were lacking on real gameplay and heavy hitters. There are some highlights. Uncharted. Final game looked better than what they showed here, had another year left in development. Resistance Fall of Man. I think this one counts as a good demo. Looks close to the final game too. Assassin's Creed teaser. Sonic 06. Lengthy sports section.
Oh, sweet.
Final Fantasy 13. A lot of these cutscenes looked pre-rendered, but it is close to the final product. Metal Gear Solid 4. This looked interesting, but very bad frame rate. It just wasn't running well. A lot of these did not give us a release date and would not release until at least late 2007. Some exceptions, of course. We did get Sonic 06, but yeah. Then the controller was shown off. Bluetooth, wireless, motion sensing.
Truly a fantastic innovation that is really going to add to the PlayStation 3 success story.
Very confident there, man. The Warhawk demo was a good idea. It's a pretty good way to show off the controller's capabilities, but the game changed a lot in development, removing its single-player elements altogether. There was a lot of over-exaggerating with those controller movements too. Is this because he wants to draw attention to the motion sensing, or is it due to latency and bugs? Then we get to the moment that would affect the PlayStation for years, the PS3 price reveal. First we got the Japanese price. Open price?
The numbers, basically. What do they mean?
And there it is, dead silent room. No one was happy with this price. For comparison, here's the PS2, Xbox 360, and PS5 launch prices. Yeah, not good. But it goes both ways. Microsoft made some questionable choices with the Xbox One at launch the following console generation. You could only share a disc once, and had no freedom to buy and sell discs secondhand. Sony slapped them with the iconic,
"This is how you share your games on PS4.
Thanks.
And finally, one more of my own favorites comes from E3 2016. Remember Death Stranding? We got our first trailer for it here. That was exciting. We had no idea what we just saw, but the confusion, stunning visuals, and haunting soundtrack were very much Kojima. Seeing the man back in the gaming industry was all we needed, and from that anticipation, this meme was born. It quickly spread and encompassed other anticipated games that were dropping announcements around that time, like Breath of the Wild and Sonic Mania. There are a lot of variants of this format in general, small thing being gently held by person. I like the Kratos one quite a bit too. What stands out from Microsoft to me are mostly the surprising things they've done. But that might be because I'm not really an Xbox person. On reveal of what the Xbox Series X looked like, it was memed due to its shape. And I can't help but feel Microsoft did this on purpose, just so they could do this the following E3.
You know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't.
This mini fridge embraces the meme. It's so stupid, but you know you want one. The general manager for Xbox Games Marketing actually gauged interest for it early on, and continued to tease this actually becoming a thing. What is this April 1st move? With the release of that E3 commercial, it reignited the Xbox Series X fridge memes. Well played marketing campaign, Greenberg. Now we get to probably the most iconic meme from the Microsoft stage in recent time. It's 2019. Cyberpunk is still a highly anticipated game. The trailer plays. It looks good. We get a good look at Johnny Silverhand. He is Keanu. Then this door opens up. Lots of fog. The audience loses it.
How's it going? I gotta talk to you about something.
Talk to me, Keanu. Tell me.
CD Projekt Red.
He's thriving off the audience's energy. He just says words and the audience cheers. Him just being on stage talking with his hands itself inspired memes. Mini Keanu Reeves was born just because he stood on that stage and everyone lost their minds. We went from a post commenting about the absurdity of the situation to an edited version of the same photo, and that took off. Back to the stage, Keanu keeps talking, people keep losing their minds.
Cyberpunk
We get to the moment.
is really going to be breathtaking. You're breathtaking.
That cute step back was everything. These two formats are still popular to this day. They joined the collection of ever-growing Keanu memes. And now we conclude with another personal favorite. Stepping back a year to 2018, Phil Spencer is transitioning us into another game.
For the first time ever on Xbox, Kingdom Hearts.
What? Who would have thought we'd get a Kingdom Hearts trailer at a Microsoft conference? Completely new footage and gameplay from the Frozen world, as well as some others we already knew about. Square Enix and Disney put a Kingdom Hearts trailer in the Microsoft, Sony, and their own presentations this year, but I think Square gave them the best one too, because it ended with this.
Mickey, you're too late.
Dropping such a big plot twist in a trailer time and time again, Square, you revealed too much about this game before launch. I'll keep things simple. In Kingdom Hearts, yellow eyes are a sign for being a vessel of the series villain Xehanort, though to put it more generally, it's a sign of being possessed by darkness. So the Kingdom Hearts community ran with the possibility that Aqua here has been possessed by Xehanort, thus we refer to her as being Norded. She used to look like this. So the trailer drops, the community loses it. People are crying, people are screaming, people are blaming Mickey. A lot of prominent YouTubers in the community helped to propel the meme.
Aqua got Norded.
That's not words.
And the reactions were very entertaining.
Why you become a sickness?
Glad to see Kingdom Hearts continues to be a part of the general meme culture since then. And that's it for this video. Unfortunately, a lot of E3 history predates the rise of social media platforms and internet popularity. If E3 continued to be as big as it once was over the next decade, we would have seen a lot more interesting memes develop. The pre-recorded digital presentation format of Nintendo Directs and State of Plays leave less room for the type of material that generates memes of past E3s, but we always find a way.